into car sport? I guess. Has it always been a hobby of yours?
Since college.
College?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What got you interested in it? Is there anything particular, like a certain event or the boyfriend that had a car?
Well, actually, it was actually probably before college. It was high school because we lived in a small town and there wasn't a lot to do. It was out in the middle of basically oil fields, desert-looking sagebrush, and so everybody for entertainment went on a drag up and down endlessly.
Oh, really?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
probably fun, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Friday nights.
You could tell who, you know, it was like on a weekend or something. You could tell 4 or 5, half a block ahead of you who was there just by their tail lights. You know who was going away from you and coming in. Yeah. So.
Was there a lot of girls that did it, or was it always boys?
Oh
like
no,
guys?
no, the girls were always.
Oh, girls always into it too?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. So, since I've noticed, I guess growing up, it's always been considered a man's sport. You know, the hobby of cars, like whether it be racing or showing. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like more women should get involved and like should know that it's not just a man's sport?
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, if they are interested.
Yeah. Because I know a lot of girls are just, I'll be like, oh, why don't you get a car? Oh no, it's it's not really a girl's thing. It's more of a guy's thing. And it's like no,
it's fun. Okay, I'll tell you a story.
Okay.
His daughter came home from college and she hadn't ridden in my car. And I said, well, I'll take you for a ride in the car. Would you want to do that? And she said yes. And so we took off and we started, got several blocks away, and I noticed that I needed to get some gas. So I pulled into the first gas station I came to over on Greenback. And while I was there, there were a lot of guys that came up to me and talked to me about the car. But when we got back, she was laughing and she told her dad, she goes, Dad, that car's a guy magnet. So why shouldn't girls get more involved in that?
Right, yeah, it definitely brings guys along, right?
Yeah. Not that I'm looking for a guy magnet.
No, of course not. So you do have a lot of female friends that do have nice cars and that were into them, I guess, before, if their husbands were into them, like they've always been interested?
A lot of female friends. I wouldn't say a lot of female friends, but some female friends. Oh yeah.
Let's see. So do you just show your car? Have you ever raced any of like your other car that you had mentioned before? Or did you just kind of?
No. Well, my very first car that was my own car was a 1964 Nova SS, and it was really red. Had black bucket seats, and I put mag wheels on it, and had a heavy foot. So not,
so you can
not
imagine.
a lot. Not street racing like they do now, but you pull up at a stop light or stop sign, and somebody next to you wanted to just kind of.
Did you ever, whenever you did that, were there some guys that would look at your car and be like, oh,
yeah,
you can't beat me, and then you
and
smoked
I did.
him?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, see,
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah, mine was like a 289 with V8, and so a lot of people probably thought it was a V6, and it was just a little.
They didn't think you could
do anything.
You didn't think you could handle
No,
that?
yeah.
You showed them, I'm sure. Yeah.
I always liked. I love my cars.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us again about the car that you had before that's similar to this one.
Okay.
You have now. It's like your baby. You're like bonded.
It was my second car.
Your second car.
My second car. After the Nova, that was my second car, and I loved that car, and I drove it for 10 years until I was convinced I should sell it.
I don't know how you did that. I don't know how to convince you.
I parted with it very reluctantly, and so anyway, I sold it, and it later was totaled, and it broke my heart. And
I'm gonna go say goodbye to it.
I went to the wrecking yard to say goodbye to my baby, and I had tears in my eyes, and I apologized for ever selling it. And ever since then, I've loved Chevelles. I mean, I love that car. It was my soulmate as cars go.
Yeah.
And
you knew.
That was it. And so I had this big Chevelle-shaped hole in my heart. And every time I go down the street and I'd see a Chevelle, I looked like Linda Blair in The Exorcist, with my head spinning around, following it down the road. And anyway, I found this one quite unexpectedly, and it was, like I said, almost the twin of my other Chevelle. It had all the SS 396.
Yeah, and you had mentioned that you were up late and you're on the computer and you were just looking at shoes and stuff. You're looking at cars. That's something that my dad dad would do.
Yeah, I
and
ended
you
up
were
looking
doing
at
it. So yeah,
cars, yeah.
girls do that. That's, yeah,
do that kind
girls
of
do that.
stuff,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, cool. Well, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate
welcome.
it. Thank you.
You're welcome.